to Senior Parent Night of 2025. I know. That's been a big number in your head. That's been a big number in your head, I'm sure, for a while. Yes, 2025 is here. We have our senior class of 2025 graduating at the end of this year. So we appreciate you guys being here and just getting all the information. I'm Ian Perry, I'm assistant principal, and I oversee our seniors, our juniors, our activities, and our athletics. So if you have any senior questions at all, if you're like, how does this work? What do I do? I don't understand. There's not enough information posted or sent out about this. What's happening? Just email me. I'm always available to help you. I am your go-to in terms of questions about seniors. So I'm happy to answer your 12 to 400 emails. That's okay. I'm here for you. Okay? There's a lot of questions that go along with the things that happen. There's a lot of things that happen in the next few months, and I don't want you to feel like you're in it alone. You're in it with us, and we want to help you through that process because it is a lot. So lastly, or not lastly, we're just getting started. But Scotty G is here. The man, counselor, extraordinary activities. We have our amazing ASB students back there hanging out, leadership students, selling things. Yearbooks over there. Asher, say hi. There he is. He's going to talk to you later. He's fantastic. We have after prom going on. Cash for college. Jocelyn's is here. So the DP Foundation is here. Tons of things for you to check out tonight. So make sure that you, after our event tonight, check out some of the tables that are there. We'll remind you, don't worry. But just wanted to make sure that we introduce some of the things that are around the room. So, like I said, you're going to have a lot of questions. There are a lot of answers on our website. If you go to the senior class information, the class of 2025, it is under students, the students tab. There's a large amount of information there, like all the merchandise you can purchase, the things to do, like the senior achievement submission, grabbing permission slip, information regarding graduation, and all the senior events that are coming up. There's a big button, that blue one at the top that says Senior Events List. That is our live senior letter. It has all the dates and all the deadlines and all the things that are happening from now, that this date is on there, until graduation and eventually the California adventure trip. So it has everything, all the deadlines, all the dates on there for you to check out. So I always encourage parents to print it out and put it on the fridge because, like I said, there's a lot of things that happen in these next few months, and it's just nice to have sitting there as a cheat sheet, okay? And once again, it's just a good place to start if you have questions. All right, so I'll turn it over to Scotty real quick. He's got some things to talk about. Thanks, Scotty.
Well, thank you guys all for being here. Again, I'm Scotty G. I'm one of the counselors and the activities director. So just to get a general sense of what's going on is we're going to be talking a little bit to start this night about college and things as parents that you should be thinking about as you kind of are getting ready to kind of leave the nest. How many of you have first ones that are going to college? All right, okay. All right. How many of you have second ones this is the second one? Okay, so you did it once, so you may do it again, so there you go. That's very cool. I did it twice, it was really kind of nice. Again, logistics, restrooms are in that hallway right there, right outside that hallway to the left is also a drinking fountain, so if you guys need water or something like that, it's there. All the tables are going to be open at the end of the night, so just know that if you need to get up and do something, they're going to be there during the presentation, but they're also going to all be there when we're done finished tonight. So we're going to start off by talking about Santa Barbara City College. I'm also going to talk a little bit about the four-year college process. I'm very pro our city college. Obviously, it's the best in the nation, so that's one of the most phenomenal parts of that. It also comes with the promise. And so the promise gives them 2 years of free tuition, free supplies, and free everything. We have a goal to encourage all of our students, no matter what their plan might be, to include this as part of their plan. You never know what might happen. You never know what goes on in the summer and things change. This is a great backup plan to make sure that you have a place to go and you have a plan in place come August. So it's really bad when you have this full-on plan. I'm going to a four-year school, that's what I'm doing, that's what I'm doing. And then family things do happen, personal things do happen, and all of a sudden it's like, I think I should go to City College, and I haven't done any of these steps. We do all of these steps here with the students with the city college program, getting them classes, getting them set up, getting them all lined up to go. So I would call it your safe faith plan for everybody. It's going to cost you nothing to be prepared, and it's going to save you a lot of heartache if there is an issue come down the line. All the steps are here. On the back table back there, there's information about Santa Barbara City College. Again, we keep sending this information out. Our career counselor, Natalie Douglas, is available on a regular basis. We're also doing Cash for College nights once a week here, but there's also some at Santa Barbara and San Marcos. So we do ours on Tuesday nights, where the CalSOP is here. If you are planning to apply for any money whatsoever, you must have filed the FAFSA. Heads up, it is also now a state law for California high school graduates to file the FAFSA as part of your graduation requirement. So the only way to get out of that is to opt out. So there is an opt out, but if you don't opt out, then part of your graduation requirement is that you have applied for the FAFSA. Right now, we're at about 75% of our seniors have already either started or completed the FAFSA. So that is something that we want to make sure you're aware of. That is an expectation that you will need to do. For personally, again, if there's reasons why you shouldn't, talk with your counselor. We are happy to help you with the opt-out, but the plan is that you're going to opt in. Again, no harm, no foul. Doesn't mean that you're doing anything more. So, all right, so all those steps. So again, promise, FAFSA, due date March 2nd. The March 2nd deadline is very key for scholarship applications and for four-year colleges. Not so important for Santa Barbara City College and the promise. March 2nd is a huge deadline though for anybody who's planning on getting any money from scholarship money out there, also from four-year colleges. So just be paying attention to that. Just four-year colleges, just in general, I just try to talk about this as a fact. I would really be spending a lot of time when you're kind of looking at the colleges that you're talking about with your sons and daughters about where they're going, and they paid attention to kind of like climate, distance, talking about how many times if they go that far that they're going to be able to come home or not come home. Like, really talking with them about the costs and the expenses of what things are. I'm also a huge proponent of it should be, unless there's some very outside instance, it should be a minimum of a 1-year expectation of completion. Do not let them come home at Christmas and tell you they don't want to go back. Okay? That's a really popular thing. Really encourage them to finish the full year. So many kids that I talk to, that first 6 months is the hardest 6 months. There's a lot of time you come home, you get really used to coming home. They come home for homecoming, they come home for Thanksgiving, they come home for Christmas or winter break and winter holidays. That second round is when they're really kind of all of a sudden really much more at their campus for that last 6 months. So that's really where a lot more of like that acclimation to being gone really happens. And a lot of maturity happens at that time, and a lot of independence happens at that time. And it's really kind of like when a lot of the relationships and friendships are forming. So just kind of realize that as a family, that should be a family discussion. It's an investment, and that you should be talking about it as an investment, that we're doing this for a year and we've talked about this ahead of time. So be prepared to have that conversation. We have they say about 40% come back after the first year. Okay, so that's a huge stat. And again, it's a very big cost, but again, I would really encourage the investment. May 1st is the college declaration deadline. Portals. Your colleges have portals. Okay? They're not talking to you. Okay? They don't have you registered. They're not communicating to you. They are messaging your students about what is needed and what is missing. Okay? They have to check their emails. They're not sending it through social media. They're not sending it through other ways. They have to start learning to use their emails. And at that same rate, they really, at this point, and we've talked with the seniors about this, they should have a professional email. Okay? Their email says a lot about who they are and who they're communicating with. So, I love my hot mama is probably not the best email to have. And that's a nicer one than some I've seen. So again, very definitive of who you are. They should have professional ones. It should have their name. It should be first initial, last name, something like that. Very kind of standard and professional. So again, work with them. Make sure they're checking it. I would say at this point, once a week minimum, they should be checking that portal. Okay? The number of students that are getting panicked emails or panic things that are happening because 4 or 5 emails have come about things that they haven't received is really bad. I've had students who have lost their acceptance because information was not given to that college, and that college is like, yeah, you're out of here. We've asked for it too many times. And like, I've never heard anything, and then they're gonna show you 7 emails that they sent to your portal. Not to your personal email, to your portal of that school. So be really careful that they're checking the portals of each of their very independent schools. They have accounts through those schools. Housing. Some of the applications at this point, I would say about 90% include housing. Please confirm that when you're applying, that you are also applied for housing. Too many people are waiting to figure out where they get in, and once they get in, then they're starting to look for housing. You should be looking for housing at the same time you're applying. It will have some bit of an investment cost because you will have to put a deposit down that is not 100% refundable, but it is a majority refundable. But again, apply for housing. Do not let your sons and daughters convince you if they're going to an out-of-state school or to a four-year college that they should live off campus. They should be living on campus. They should be living in dorms. They have residence assistants. I mean, it's part of the whole experience. So don't, oh yeah, 4 of us are just gonna get an apartment and just gonna figure it out in San Francisco. That's great for your sophomore year. Live in the dorm for your freshman year. Plan on living in the dorms, plan on encouraging that, planning on applying for that. There's a lot of schools that are over-impacted. There's a lot of off-campus housing that also has resident assistance that also is considered basically just kind of off-campus dormitories. So definitely be looking at that as part of your plan. Make sure that that's included. Graduation requirements. The 220, it's just a fact. We've been working with the students on the A through G, making sure they have all their requirements done. At this point, as senior parents, that's usually not the biggest issue. I would say the second one's the bigger issue. Is the 60 hours of community service, not completed yet, required for graduation. A number of students have done it, but they just haven't turned it in. Really get that off the list. I'm like constantly working with students and being like, can you just get the things that you've done off your list? Go get it signed, go get it turned in, one less thing to do, one less thing to worry about. 200 hours of community service, the deadline is May 15th, so if you want to be acknowledged at graduation for earning over 200 hours of community service, that is the deadline for that. The last part of the slide that's not there is called SCORE. So every one of your students has a SCORE account, SCOIR. It's under the senior page. They are required to fill out the SCORE form. It asks that they fill out all the colleges they apply to, the results of all those colleges, and where they're going. So they should be filling that out now. We as counselors will not check them out on grad checkout day if they haven't done their SCORE. They've all been shown how to do it. If they have any problems, they can always come see their counselor. They can always go to the Career Center. We're helping them with their SCORE, but basically they're just saying, this is where I applied. I got waitlisted here, I got accepted here, I got denied here, and I'm going here. So a list of the schools and so that is a requirement for graduation. We won't let them check out without doing that. We won't let them check out without paying their school debts. So if they owe books, now's a great time to find out they owe books. You can go onto the web store through the website and see that and see what books they owe, so you can start looking for those books. They need to make sure they also turn in their iPad at the end. And then the last big thing to pay attention to is the moment they graduate, at any point within 2 to 3 weeks, they close all of their accounts. So they will lose access to everything in their Gmail account if they don't move it. And then it's gone. So it's really important that they have important documents saved in their school email, that they're copying and saving that elsewhere. And I wish I could say it's going to be on June 22nd, they're going to do it, but it seems like every year, all of a sudden, it's gone. And so we're talking to the kids at checkout. One of the things that we tell them at checkout is don't forget, part of checkout is move your documents. If you care about anything that's in your email, move it to a safe place because it will not be retrievable. Transcripts. So right now you can order your transcripts on a kind of a regular basis. We're sending out transcripts on a regular basis. We send out the transcripts and our letters of rec through SCORE. That's how you see that things are received. They also see in their portal that things are received. If they're missing things that they think should be sent, they're going to have unchecked boxes in their portal, or they're going to have unchecked boxes in their SCORE account. All of the things that we're sending up through graduation are free. You will have to pay for one final transcript to go to the school where you're going. So when they get their diploma, we give them a bunch of instructions, but basically, you go onto the website, you order a transcript, and you order it to be sent officially stamped and sealed to the school you're going to, and it's $7. So just know that that final one is something that they have to do. That is the one that tends to catch students off guard the most. That's the biggest problem I have. I work in the summers. The panic that comes in the summer when all of a sudden it's like, my school said that they're going to cancel my acceptance if they don't get my registration or they don't get my transcript. Yes, you have to send the transcript. So what's very nice about our transcript system right now is you can actually order it in May and say, send after graduation. So you can actually have it ready to go, and it's just ready to go. As soon as you know where you're going, you can order that transcript and just click the button that says, send after final grades after graduation, and then it will send as soon as all the grades are on the transcript. Yeah, so, again, every one of your kids is different, everyone's unique. You know them, you've raised them, you know what their strengths and their weaknesses are. Be really cognizant of those things and you're making the decisions about college and where they're going and what they're doing. Have really solid conversations with them as best you can. Again, yes, every situation is different. So if you do come across a situation where, it seems like the best thing for them to do is come home, then that should be a family decision, not an individual decision, and that should be something that's kind of discussed as a whole. So again, we have this whole statement as a bunch of counselors. There's never one rule that applies. We tend to have a general sense of this is how you should do it. And then if you have the exception, we should be talking about the exception. So the general rule of thumb is you apply to this school, you said this is where you're going, we're staying for the year. That's what we're doing. We've talked about it, that's what we've said we're doing. Things change, something specific happens, it's in their best interest. Again, you have to make a decision, but it should not be thought of as an afterthought. It should be a statement that happens. All right, and then again, we're going to take it to Mr. Perry. Here we go.
Round of applause for Scott. He's the man. The wealth of knowledge that he has, unbelievable. Anyways, so a few things that he touched on, I want to make sure that I reiterate. Community service hours, yes, that is a huge thing that we deal with every senior year, with every senior class. There are students that didn't do their 60 community service hours. I'm like, what do you mean I can't graduate? Well, you have to do this. It's a graduation requirement. So I will tell you that our College Career Center, Gabrielle Balfour Ritchie does a great job of checking in with those students who are I have a whole list that it's like, okay, there's this many students that haven't met the requirement yet. She calls them in, talks to them a few times throughout the year, and about this time of year, she says, okay, here's the 40 kids that you need to talk to, and then I start calling them, and then we start calling you and telling you, hey, they need to do this. So just check in with your student. They're probably going to say, oh, I've already done it, or I've turned in the yellow slip already. But the biggest thing is, like Scotty said, is a lot of them have done it, they just haven't turned in the yellow slip. So we just make sure you check in with them about how many community service hours they have and if they've completed that. The portals, yes, every college out there now, everything's online, right? It's all through their specific portal, and everyone gives you a totally different ID number and email, and you apply for 12 colleges, and you're like, I don't even remember the password on this one, like how am I going to even get into that, right? So just encourage your student to sit down and write out a list of those usernames and passwords. Like I put it in the notes on my phone, or like wherever you can put it, that you have that to refer to, because it does get totally confusing even when you have like 3 or 4 colleges you're applying to, like, wait, I don't even remember how to even get to that portal, like where is it even at? So just make sure that they are checking that, that's super important. So final stretch, we'll talk discipline, senior contract, and then finally our grad week activities form. I went over all of these expectations with your seniors today. We had a meeting today with all your seniors during seminar and talked with them all about the end of year expectations that we have for them in terms of leading up to grad week activities, prom. We have winter formal this week, super pumped, it's at the zoo, it's gonna be great. And all of the grad week that we have California Adventure and senior breakfast and bowling night. So in order to participate in those things, they need to make sure that they're finishing off the week or the year well, right? They need to make sure that they're going to class, they're behaving properly, they're following all the school rules, their grades are up, all that kind of thing. So I went through these expectations with them today, and I'm going to go through them with you so that you can see them. So it says, attending graduation ceremony is privileged, it's voluntary, you have to follow school rules to be included in those activities and graduation. Any discipline or suspension may affect the participation in that event. So, the senior contract. All of these rules and expectations are laid out in the senior contract that was sent out in the welcome packet at the beginning of the year. So you already signed it, they already signed it, they already agreed to it. Yes, you will abide by these rules in order to attend graduation. Now, these aren't like crazy outlandish things. These are, just do the right thing, go to class, be a student, and you're going to be just fine. So every senior and their parent must sign this to participate in senior activities, and that includes graduation. And like I said, most of you have most likely already completed it. So we're just going to go through real quick. You need to maintain appropriate behavior at any school activity. So that goes for all students, just making sure that we're maintaining appropriate behavior at winter formal and prom. We have students sometimes that make poor choices, and that can affect things down the road. You need to maintain good attendance and arrive to class on time. This is the big one, and this is the one that I want to talk to everyone about, because this is the one we get the most questions about, and this is the one that ends up causing the most strife. We have an attendance requirement for our seniors. Why? Because they're seniors. And they're like, nah, second period today? I don't think so. Art, ceramics, I don't need to go to that class. I'm going to go to In-N-Out, okay? But anyway, so we need to encourage them somehow to not do that and to go to class. And why do we do that? Because we want them to continue to maintain their grades. We want them to maintain the relationship they have with their teacher and those kind of things, so that way, we're talking about colleges and acceptance and things. We don't want grades to drop, because that can affect college acceptance and things like that. So it's all about making sure that our students are doing the right thing, that they're in class, and they're participating and finishing out the year right. So it says on there, 18 or more period truancies starting March 3rd will affect your participation in senior activities. So March 3rd is not next Monday, but it's next Monday. It's the first Monday of March, okay? 18 or more period truancies. A period truancy is not like you missed a day, right? There's 4 periods in a day. Some days there's 5 periods because of seminar, Wednesdays and Fridays, right? So if you miss a whole day on a Wednesday, that's 5 period truancies, right? Now you might be like, what the heck? They're not allowed to be sick or have doctor's appointments or college visits. Absolutely they can do those things. And that's why it's so important that you make sure that you call the attendance office and you excuse those absences. That you say, hey, they were sick this day, they had an illness, right? Or we're going on a college visit, and we'll excuse that. We do all of the sports and the activities and those kind of things that, through the attendance office. But it's so, so, so important that if your student is going to miss school, right, you need to call the attendance office and clear that attendance. Make sure that we know why they missed school. Otherwise, it's going to go down as a U, which is an unexcused absence, an A, which is an absence that will eventually turn to U, and that's going to count against them. Now, another code that counts against them in the attendance realm is an F. An F is a tardy truant. Okay? Tardy truant means that you were 30 minutes or more late to class. Common among seniors for first period. Okay? Anyways, so if they're 30 minutes or more late to class, that is going to count against them when it comes to this stuff. All right? I will tell you that this is not like it looks like, oh man, like this is a big expectation for our students, but really it's just making sure that they're going to class and doing the right thing, and being here at DP and finishing the senior year strong. Okay? If you have questions about that, you can call me, you can talk to me. I know that there's always, like Scotty said in the last slide, every situation is different, and we can work with you and figure it out. But I will tell you the same thing that I told our seniors today is the grad week ticket that you buy, the $300 grad week ticket for Disneyland and senior week and all that kind of stuff, right? I will not let you go if you don't go to class. So if you end up with 18 or more period truancies, that means you cannot go to the senior grad week activities. And the students are like, oh yeah, Perry, okay, like, you're chill, you're gonna let us go, it's fine. Nope, I didn't. Last year it happened. There was a kid who couldn't go. He came to the bus, he's ready to go, he's got his blanket on and everything. And I was like, sorry man, but you didn't go to school. And he walked around asking everybody, talking about all these different, and I was like, no, like you can't go. We set these expectations up for you to be successful, and unfortunately sometimes students don't meet that. I don't think we had, actually it was 2 years ago, I don't think we had any last year. I think last year we did good. Might have been 1 or 2, I don't know. But all I'm saying is, this is very possible, okay? You can do it. Go to class. All right.
Perry,
Yes?
do they get their money back if they lose their senior night?
Nope, you don't get your money back, okay? So, yes, you are investing in a ticket. $300 is a large investment, right? To say like, yes, I'm going to do the right thing, go to class, follow the rules so that I get to go and have fun at grad week, okay? Anyways, next thing, you need to pay off all your debts to those levels, textbooks, library materials, iPads. Our librarian is fantastic, Ms. Magner. They can check this online as well under the library tab on the website. You can go to the library tab, sign in, and it will tell you if you're missing any books. I know it's always like, oh yeah, that book from freshman year. I don't even know where it's at, okay? And so just go talk to Ms. Magner. She'll figure out a way for you to pay off that debt and go from there. So, Scotty, there was something else there. I can't remember what it was. It was about score. Oh, yeah, because you have to have your score completed. I don't think we have that in here. So this is one of the steps in checking out on our checkout day to have graduation, those kind of things, is making sure that our library debt is cleared. And then the other step that Scott mentioned is having our score done. So I was just trying to refer back to that. Like I said, these are the exact same slides your students saw today. So it says, you are prohibited from possessing or consuming any controlled substances prior to or during any school activity. So we do a really good job of making sure this doesn't happen at our events. Winter formal this week, we have 2 sheriff's deputies that will be with us. We have 5 administrators, 20 chaperones. We check the students in as they walk in. But if a student is caught with, these types of things or under the influence, right, it could have effect on them participating in things like prom, senior activities, and those types of things. So, we'll continue. Wait, I skipped a slide? No, I did. There we go. Participation in the senior prank. These are some of my favorites up here. The high school's for sale up there. You can't read it, I know. It's a good sign. Participation in the senior prank or ditch day will jeopardize your participation in senior activities. So we're going to do that. Must also attend all mandatory graduation practices. During the ceremony, behave appropriately and wear a cap and gown following all dress code rules. So we have 2 graduation practices, one on the day before graduation and one the morning of graduation. So students must attend both of those practices in order to be in the graduation ceremony. If they miss one of the practices, they can't be in one of the graduation ceremonies. And yes, that information is all on the website under the graduation information, as well as in the live senior letter of the times and dates and all those things for the graduation practices. We'll also reiterate once again as many times as we can to your students when those things are. Diplomas will be handed out the day after graduation, and we only print one diploma per student, and legal names are printed on diplomas. So we hand them out at age 30 after graduation. The kids looked at me today like, what do you mean? I don't get my diploma on graduation day? And I was like, well, no, because I mean, it's just hard to get that organized, like of having everybody come up and then they're gonna lose it because they throw their caps and everything, and then, so we have to pick it up the day after, and then you go out to dinner and just, you don't need to lose that. So they pick up a cover for it on graduation, and then the next day they come back to age 30 and get their diploma there, okay? That's a blank slide, no it's not, here we go. This is, oh, Asher, this is you. Are you ready? All right, let me play your video, and then I'll introduce you. All right, okay. What was it? And with that awesome intro music, we get a big round of applause for Asher. He's a student here. He's a man.
All right, thank you, Mr. Perry, for that. So I am here to talk about the yearbook, as well as baby ads. But first off, yearbook. You can order your yearbook right now. We have it on sale if you go to our website, dpyearbook.org. You can order it for $123. But if you come over to my table, tonight and tonight only for seniors, we have a sale for $115. Save a few bucks. And so we'll take cash, Venmo, check, and you can order your ad, or not ad, you can order your book today for that discounted price. This QR code will also take you to the website. If you don't want to pay in cash, pay right now, you can pay online. Also, make sure to buy your baby ad. Baby ads are, the order form is due tomorrow. You cannot order an ad after tomorrow. Yes, it's coming up quick. So the order deadline is tomorrow, and then we have a few examples. If you don't know what a baby ad is, these are baby ads. It's just a place in the book, in the back of the book. Celebrate your senior. Give them a nice little message. I love you. Congrats. You did it. Woohoo. And then you... Mom, is that what mine says? That's exactly what it says. And then, so we have two design options. We can design it for you. So we can design it for you. This QR code. This is where you buy your baby ad. This is where you can submit your baby ad. Submit materials for us, the photos and the message, the woohoo, right? So you'll submit it to us. We'll make it for you. Send it back. Send you a proof of the ad that we come up with. You say, yay, I love it, or can we tweak this? And then we'll go back and forth, and then we'll make it to how you want it. Or you can design it yourself. All information on how to design it is on our website, dpyearbook.org, under the Baby Ads tab. And we have very specific dimensions. Please get those dimensions right. I don't want to have to go, hey, the ad looks great. Please redesign it because it won't fit in our book. I hate doing that. So please design it with the right dimensions. Makes the process go a lot easier. And I believe it's back to Mr. Perry.
Can we give him a big round of applause? Good man, Asher. Thank you. Hey, Asher, real quick question.
Yes, sir.
How many baby ads did we sell last year? Because I feel like it was a large part of the book last year.
Last year, I believe we were at
Yeah, there's a lot of baby ads, and they're just fantastic. They're something fun to look at. So, anyways, consider it. It's a really fun thing to do. My yearbook today. Thank you, Asher. Appreciate it.
Any questions? I'll be ready.
So let's hear for Asher one more time. Give it to him. Okay, so we did the college thing. The last thing we just want to say about the college thing is Mr. Berry kind of dwelled on it with behavior. Final grades do matter. When they get their acceptance on May 2nd or May 1st, it's going to tell you that there's an expectation. There's an expectation of grades are being maintained. So if you're an A or a B student, they're going to expect that you continue to get A's or B's. D's do not count. And so if you are in a class right now that may have been included in part of your acceptance, if you finish that class with a D, that will not count, and that will make you ineligible, and that will take away your acceptance. So the acceptance is a promise to accept you based on your promise to continue to be the student that you applied as. So really important there. So senior events, so we're talking about a lot of different things. There's a lot of things on the live web page. Ms. Van Helfen, Sienna has done an amazing job of making sure that stays up and running. It's a live document, so I would keep checking it. So if you do print it, there are potential changes that will happen. So I really kind of encourage you to just also kind of just keep checking the actual page, because we do make some adjustments as needed because things happen. But for the most part, that is where to go. If changes are made, they'll be made on that page specifically. So again, just follow it and kind of do it. Kind of the rule of thumb that I just tell parents in general, if you're trying to figure out whether or not an activity is an approved activity or a non-approved activity, if Scotty G's at the activity, it's approved. If he's not, all games are out, okay? So just know if I'm there, then that means it's an approved activity that's been supervised and kind of like run by the school. So that's a guideline for you. I obviously don't go to senior ditch day, so you won't see me at Glee Beach. That means it's not an approved activity to go to Glee Beach for the day. Just go back to that one more time, Mr. Perry. So again, deadline for the grad week activities, February 28th. That is a hard deadline. So if you are planning on going to the end of the year activities, this does not include prom. That gets very confusing to people. So a couple things to just be really clear about. If you're not sure if you ordered your yearbook, check with Asher. He will let you know whether or not you ordered your yearbook. If you are not sure if you ordered a cap and gown yet, check with Justin's back there. Do not just kind of assume that these things kind of happen. I know a lot of people feel like I paid for a whole bunch of stuff at the beginning of the year. I must have paid for that. That's not the case. So we just recently released the grad week, and it's been on sale for now since we came back from winter break, or right before winter break. So it is $300. We want everybody to go. We have to plan on buses. We have to plan on chaperones. So we need to make sure that we know how many people are going. Again, please make sure you take care of that. We don't want anybody to not go because of finances. So we do want to make sure that students and parents know that we're very empathetic and caring about that issue, and that we will work with you. Our number one thing that we will ask you, if you can't pay the whole thing, what can you do? So that helps us with the money that gets donated from a lot of people in our community to kind of help our seniors make sure that they can go. If everybody can pay a little bit, then that helps us spread out that. But we don't want anybody not to go because of that reason. So please make sure that they're talking to someone on our campus. It would be great if they're talking to Mr. Perry because he's going to make the decision, but that might be really uncomfortable. So maybe they want to talk to me, or maybe they want to talk to their counselor. Eventually that information will get to Mr. Perry. So whoever they feel comfortable sharing that with, just know that we want to kind of help and make sure everybody who wants to go can go. Grad speeches, super fun to hear grad speeches at graduation. So if they want to be giving a speech and they're talking about that, they need to be submitted by no later than May 7th. To be considered, they'll actually have to write something out, and they'll actually have to perform their speech for a group of students and administration to decide who's going to give the speeches at graduation. So it's not something where you just kind of like, just flippantly decide I'm going to give a speech. It's like you have to actually plan out and plan ahead. Prom is May 3rd. It's at the Santa Barbara Historical Museum. It's absolutely beautiful there. We're super lucky that we have that event there. They're super wonderful to us. It's a DP family, so we have a great relationship with them. We've really been able to make prom more than just one thing, which it used to be just like you either like to dance or you didn't like to dance. Now, the number of activities that exist in prom to serve all students is amazing. It is not a dinner, it is a dessert event. So there's heavy desserts and there's drinks that are there. But most of the students go to dinner before they go to prom. A lot of them have dinners at different people's houses and things like that. So just kind of know that that's what's happening there. We do have safe parking, and we do have people out in the streets. I know downtown is a little bit unsafe, so we have the Santa Barbara School District parking lot and a back lot, and we have actually security in both those lots to kind of help make sure that everybody gets to and from prom safely. After prom is immediately after. We're super lucky. We are the only school in the Santa Barbara Unified School District that still has after prom. And it is thank you to all of you as parents, because it is your party that you're putting on the students. So give yourself all a hand. So thank you guys very much for making that a tradition. I've been doing after prom for 35 years, and it's by far one of my funnest activities. Bolero has been great to us, so we're going to be continuing to work with Bolero. That used to be Zoto's. Doors open for that at 12 midnight, and they close at 4 a.m. You do not have to go to prom to go to after prom. Really important to just kind of know that we have a lot of students who go to after prom that don't go to prom. Right now we're doing a special for after prom tickets just for seniors only. It's $20. They'll be able to buy their guest ticket later on, but for the next 3 days we're doing a special that if you just want to kind of take care of one thing and just buy the after prom ticket, you can buy that tonight. Student Square went out on how to buy that to the seniors. We'll be putting it out on the senior Instagram, but it just will be available for today, tomorrow, and Friday. Then it will shut down, and then everything will open up again on April 7th, and the prices will increase. But $20 is a great deal. The $20 covers all their bowling, their shoe rental, all the arcade games, all of the prizes they're winning, and all of the food that they're getting that whole night. So it's a great deal. The only thing that they just need to know is they have to be there by 1:30. And it's not a locked party. We sign everybody in and we sign everybody out, so it's not like once they're there they have to stay. The only rule of thumb that we have with Bolero is that if they come at 12, they have to stay till 1:30. So we're not prepared to exit anybody until we enter everybody in. So everybody has to be in at 1:30, and at 1:30 then we can start letting students who want to leave go and leave. Once you leave, you cannot come back. If you leave, then you can't win any of the prizes. The prizes get better and better as the night goes on throughout the entire night. And again, it's completely run and operated by parents, so just kind of be aware of that. Senior Awards Assembly is May 28th. Your students will be invited to that. Graduation is June 12th at 5 o'clock. There are no tickets for graduation. There are no reserved seats for graduation. It is a first come, first served event. The doors will open at 4 o'clock. Get there and you'll get a seat. Get there at 5 o'clock and it gets really crowded. But we have never sold out. There's plenty of seats in our stadium. There's no cost. Any of your family can come. We do live stream it, so your family can also watch it at home. We do live stream it, and they can also watch it in the EPAC. So if you have, older grandparents or anything like that, where it's kind of hard to be out in the sun like that, they can watch it in the EPAC and be here on campus with you while you're out on the field. It does get really hot out there, so just kind of be aware that it does get hot at that time of year. We have Winter Formal coming up. It's up this week. Right now we have sold almost 600 tickets to that, so we're really excited about that event. It's at the zoo. First time ever that it's at the zoo, so we're kind of like, again, we're leading the pack, we're leading the crowd. We're going to be the first school that has a party at the zoo, and it's going to be fantastic, and we're super excited. Here's the grad week information. Again, grad week is June 9th to the 13th, because we have all of these activities. You're not going to Disneyland for 3 days, but you have senior bowling, you have movie night, you have senior breakfast, and you have your grad night ticket, and you have your bus ticket. So the $300 is paying for that whole week of events. You notice it doesn't say prom. So when you buy your senior packet, you have not bought your prom ticket.
You have not bought your after prom ticket. You have bought these things that happen during the week of senior week. So again, I know it gets kind of confusing. I thought I paid for everything. You said I got my senior activities. Didn't include prom. No. All right, so I am going to let you know that there are permission slips going out, grad week activities. Everybody has to have that permission slip signed. Every senior must have completed and attended the senior activities. You can lose Disneyland with your behavior at graduation. One of the reasons that we keep as a school that does graduation and grad night after graduation is because we're holding them accountable for all of the activities we're doing up until the point of being finished and then taking them to Disneyland. We're in Orange County. Disneyland is very serious about things that they do. So we talk with the students about this, and I talk to you about this. I've been going to Disneyland. There's drug dogs. They will not handle any paraphernalia that comes into that place. So students all the time, I had a bag, and I didn't know my vape pen was in there. It's like, hey, you need to know what's in your stuff. You need to think about what you're bringing. Less is best. Bring only what you absolutely need, which usually is a blanket and a pillow, and you'll be fine. But please be aware of the fact that that's something they'll do. If that happens, Disneyland will bring in the Orange County Police. You will be called, and you will be expected to drive down to Disneyland and pick your sons and daughters up, and they will not be coming back with us. So just know that if they get incarcerated, then they will be incarcerated. And so that is something that the Disneyland Police and Orange County will deal with your sons and daughters based on their behavior. So please, again, be aware. They are not playing games, and they are not doing anything except following the rules and expecting your sons and daughters to follow the rules. My favorite story of being in Disneyland was being on Pirates of the Caribbean. And me and my wife loving Pirates of the Caribbean, and all of a sudden the ride stops, and we're like, wow, what's that smell? Whew. And all of a sudden the ride stops. And all of a sudden the two walls open, and these two hands come out, and they take these two students and pull them into the wall, and the wall closes, and the ride keeps going. I am not joking. I was almost in shock watching it. So that was shocking. The other thing that was shocking is, did you know that there's actually a dungeon underneath the castle? And that is where they actually house students who are breaking the rules until they come. I didn't know there was a dungeon down there. I've been there. I hate being in the dungeon. It ruins my whole night. So. But yes, Disneyland does not play games. They have eyes everywhere. We have a great pass at Disneyland. We get in at 3 o'clock, and we actually are there until 9 with the whole world. And then at 9 o'clock, Disneyland magically gets everybody out of the park, except for the seniors, and they transform every store and every activity and every event into grad night. I don't know how they do it, but it's phenomenal to watch. Every store all of a sudden only has 2025 gear, and everything is all about the class of 2025. It's pretty amazing what goes on. We have a great time, so please encourage your students to do all the right things so that they can join us, get that ticket so it can happen. Need a dress for prom. I don't know if you know about the Assistants League. The Assistants League basically kind of runs a boutique. You can actually physically go and actually feel like you're at Nordstrom's, physically shopping and buying and getting a dress, and that's completely free. They're providing dresses. They're brand new for most of the cases. Usually they're one-time wear dresses. I would really encourage you, if you have daughters who are done with their dresses and they're just sitting in your closet, you're like, what should I do with this dress? I would donate it to the Assistants League. It's pretty phenomenal what they do. I went there with my daughter when she was getting her prom dress, and it's like, you seriously feel like you're almost like in a Beverly Hills venue. It's just like, they just treat you like gold, and it's really wonderful for the students. All right, I need my students. Can all my students come up here and grab a hat or a basket? Okay, so like I said, after prom only happens because of all of you. We have a team of parents that have been working for the past 2 months with me to kind of make sure that we know what the best prizes are, what the best things are, what kids want to have, what things are going to do. Come on up here. You're going to come up here. There's hats and baskets up here too. So we're going to ask you right now, because you're all right here, $5, $10, $15, $20, $25. We're going to be passing the hats back and forth in the rows right now. Whatever you can donate, 100% of what you do right now is going 100% to your students. It's not going to pay for the rentals. It's not going to pay for Bolero. It is paying for us buying and getting gifts and prizes. If you have the ability to make a donation, so we're going to start on this end and we're going to pass it this way and pass it that way. So let's start passing it down. So this way, down this way, and then just kind of get it on that end and pass it all the way down. And you just hand it to the person on this way, so they come all the way down here, and then you're going to pass it again. So just hand out the hat and pass the hat down. There we go. So you just Haley, give them the hat and just make the hat go all the way down to Alita. Take the hat, just go all the way down. And then if you want to scan the QR code because you want to make a donation through Venmo, thank you very much, Yale Brennan, for setting that up. Let's give Yale Brennan a huge hand. So again, the other thing that you're going to see tonight, so while you're doing this, so please again, help us in any way you can. If you know a business, if you know a restaurant, if you know anyone in town that would be willing to make a donation, $25, $50, $100, please talk to the back table back there. We could use everybody's help. If everybody's manicures and everybody's person who did a haircut donated one haircut, that would be phenomenal. If you have a restaurant owner that's like, hey, can you give me a $50 gift card? They're going to more likely give it to you because they know you and you tell them it's for after prom than anybody else. If you have gift cards laying around the house that you don't want to use and you're like, who's going to ever use this? Give it to us and we will make sure that it goes to one of your seniors at after prom. We give out almost $8,000 in prizes. The prizes get better and better all night. We're talking about keeping your sons and daughters safe until 4 a.m. on the most dangerous night of the year, which is prom night. They are leaving prom and coming there. How many people come? We had more people at after prom for the past 2 years than we even had at prom. That's how popular our event is. That's how much the work is that the parents are doing to make sure that we have a safe place for your sons and daughters to be. So please, if you can help by donating, help by donating. If you can help by volunteering, sign up to volunteer. If you can help by making calls out to places, help with that. We can't do this party without everybody's help. So if everybody can help, that would be simply amazing. So I'm going to let my students keep going around and keep collecting. Again, Bolero, midnight to 4 a.m., an all-night party, everything's included. Buy your $20 ticket tonight and take advantage of that amazing $20 prize. Know that we're giving out better and better prizes. Last year we gave out 3 computers and 4 e-bikes. Again, so we really are looking at having an amazing event. All right. See, look at that. She worked the last 2 in there. Super fun. And let me tell you, A, they don't care if they're there, and B, with 400 people in Bolero, they're not even going to see that you're there. Trust us. And if they really don't want to see you, we'll put you in the back door because we need somebody to watch the back door, so you can just watch the back door and read a book. We will put everybody to work. It is super fun. We have a great time. Everybody gets to eat. If you're a late nighter, we are looking for a late night crew that loves it. Hey, can I just come at 4 a.m. and just clean the mess because I don't want to come and be there? We have people that do that also. The other thing that we're doing tonight is you see over there, it says Senior Breakfast Volunteer Signups. I want to talk a little bit about Senior Breakfast. Senior Breakfast is an amazing event that happens on the morning of graduation. It's a very easy event to plan. Basically, your job is to get parents, you're not cooking the food, All the food is taken care of. Basically, you're decorating this room and celebrating seniors. We have all the decorations. We're just looking for somebody who's really organized, that can get enough people here so that we can get 500 seniors through this cafeteria, get them all fed, and then get them going and enjoying the rest of the day. So it is a very fun event. If you're interested in just helping, you can sign up over there. If you're interested in actually being like the go-to parent, see me or Sienna Van Elton. Sienna back there, raise your hand. Give Sienna a hand. We love Sienna. Sienna's awesome. So let us know. We really are looking for parents that would run it. Again, it's not like you have to do a whole bunch of meetings. You just need to get a whole bunch of parents to come one morning, and basically we decorate on Wednesday night, we serve them Thursday morning, and you're done by noon on Thursday, and then you can go to graduation. So it's awesome. If you know junior parents, that would be even better, because you can be the senior parent that plans it, and then ask the junior parent to clean it up. That's the best idea that I've ever had. So if you know a junior or sophomore parent, pair up with them, and you're set. Again, Jostens is here. After prom signups, cash for college information, translations over there, obviously, grad lays. Get your sons or daughters a graduation lay. It's such a bummer on that day with not having a lay. It's a great fundraiser for the senior class. Buy them a lay, we give it to them. It's a fresh lay that we get from Hawaii. They're beautiful, and they get it the morning of graduation. You don't have to worry about making sure they have it or don't. They physically get it when they come to graduation. They line up, they check in. Here's your lay. It's super cool and super easy for you to pay $20, knowing that it's a fundraiser for the senior class, so it's really great to do that. DP Foundation, where are you guys back there? All right. So the Foundation Spring Fundraiser, Saturday, May 17th at the Frog Bar and Grill, right up there, overlooking all this beautiful school and everything that we have here. Dinner, drinks, charger car, beach, casino night, live music, and much more. What can be better? We have a great time. It's a super fun event. We have Rochelle Ringer and Irene Milton back there asking for help and information, but we would love it. It's our major fundraiser. How many people have been able to see the Wellness Center? Anybody check out the Wellness Center yet? So the Wellness Center is 100% there because of the DP Foundation and the work they did and the fundraising they did to make that happen. So their job is to do that. You see all these beautiful tables that are out here? All these beautiful tables that they put out here to create the patio? DP Foundation. The DP Foundation is doing things directly for us. So please support the DP Foundation. Please support After Prom. Please sign up to help us with that. And then with it going, we're going to give you my friend Ruben, Mr. Jostens himself.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'll be brief. I've had some common questions, so that's why I kind of snuck up here to say, don't forget about me. So, do you have to order your cap and gown tonight? No. You can order it online by going to jostens.com. Check your emails because the school has sent out notices. I have a QR code in the back. If you are old school like me and you don't want to go through the digital pages, you want to touch and look at pictures, you're welcome to pick up a brochure in the back. On the back of the brochure, it has the Jostens QR code. The only difference between that and then the one that I have on the flyer is that when you scan this one, you're going to just enter Dos Pueblos High School. The other one takes you straight to the page. Very important things. This is the time we're ordering as a group. You have until the end of next week to be part of the group order. What happens after next week? Can you still order graduation items? Of course you can. Is it going to cost the same? No, it's not. This is the group order time. This is the time to save money. Order it. That way you're done. If you have any questions, I'm back there. When you are looking on your phone and you go to jostens.com, remember, this is a small screen. You have to finish scrolling to see everything. So make sure you go. Because when you go to jostens.com, you want to click on the graduation box. It's going to change, and you're going to see packages on that same page. Finish scrolling up, and there's a description of all the graduation items, and then a button that says, Shop all graduation products now. And then it'll change over to the individual category, so you don't have to order a package. You can order things individually. At your school, the cap and gown unit is the cap, gown, and the standard tassel. You have to select blue or gold. Traditionally, the boys wear blue and girls wear gold, but it's completely your choice. Make sure you make the correct selection. It's going to ask you for the height. It's going to ask you for the weight. Those are the two things that we need to make sure you get the proper size gown. And then it's like going to the grocery store. As soon as you click next, remember you go to the grocery store and we want milk? What do you have to do? You got to walk through the aisles. Do you want cookies, right? Do you want extra stuff, bread? Same thing at Johnson's. After you order your capping gown, it's going to say, do you want an extra tassel? Do you want a sweatshirt? Do you want custom graduation announcements? If you don't, you just click the box that says no thanks. Okay? And then it'll ask you to fill out your information. The school will pass out the caps and gowns in May. I will be sharing with them the list of everybody who's ordered. It's just so important to order ahead of time to get the proper size gown. Last thing I just want to mention, again, if you want a brochure, pick it up in the back. I have some on the table, but it's the same thing you find online. If you are interested in celebrating your student's graduation with a class ring, yes, Johnston has been making rings since 1897. Long time. Most of the year, they spend making graduation rings. We have a special setup for rings where they make like the professional rings, the championship rings. So for example, we have a crew working on the Los Angeles Dodgers World Series ring that we'll be delivering towards the end of March to the Dodgers. We're waiting to hear from the Eagles if we're going to be making their Super Bowl ring again. But they spend most of the year making the graduation rings. There's a promotion going on in the month of February, save $75. Senior gift 75. All one word, all capitalized. It's the code to get you $75 off. If you're considering a class ring, pick up a ring sizer with me back there. If you have any questions, see me back there. Congratulations on your students making it to second semester. Have a safe senior year, and we look forward to celebrating you in the spring. Thank you so much, everybody.
Well, that was a lot of information. Check. That was a lot of information in one night, so thank you for bearing with us as we went through all that. Can we just get a quick round of applause for Scotty G real fast? He's the man. Like I said, lots of tables around to check out. Please, 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 go and look at this website. Look at the senior information tab on our website. It's under students. It's got all that stuff. He's talking about purchasing the gap and gown. Look at it. There it is right there, linked to it. So we have all of those things available on the website. I'm your go-to guy if you have questions. And once again, thank you all for being involved in your children's life. We can't do it without you.
Go be online and share pictures. All those QR codes, everything you saw.